Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Friday, November 8th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to start with this chart here. Let me move it around a little bit and just, it was Tuesday of this week that we settled above the 135.21 descending channel top ahead of the election results, actually. Technically, though, it did set up this 155.87 formation as a likely 1 to 2 week objective, 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in there. Right now, it's looking more like a 1 week target. We're 3 days into it, and I could imagine the possibility of 155.87 by Tuesday, let's say, of next week. And that is that is sort of the 1 to 2 week time frame right now. On the way up, also on Wednesday, we closed above the 143.71 high settlement price. That is the all-time high, was the all-time high settlement price until a couple of days ago. And that set off secondary buying pressures to 155.87, now likely by the end of next week or sooner. We had mentioned how this 150.58 1.5 swing to the upside, or 50% swing beyond A minus B, could contain intraday buying. It still may. I mean, we do not put out minor points just for the sake of minor points. They always have, in our perspective, containment ability. It's what is the more meaningful. And I think, given the fact that we're in a buy signal anyway on a couple of counts, most recently above 143.71, expecting 155.87, that yesterday's settlement just above the trend line across the highs at 148.59. But I think of slightly greater significance is this kind of channel formation that you can see is developed. You've got low, high, low, 148.07. We have as a solid intraday support level. Assuming we open above it, we can continue onward and upward. Yes, 150.58 in reach, but we may even push through it, being a Friday and all. There is the possibility that we could, if we push through 150.58 today, reach 155.87. But I will say right now that we've got a 1 to 2 week objective, as I showed earlier, above 143.71, a 1 to 2 week target by the end of next week, let's say a 155.87. But holding above 148.07 will keep that upper area at 155.87 in reach over the next few days, 3 to 5 days. So, we are sort of breaking it down into different time frames, but, the bottom line, still anticipating 155.87 above 135.21 that was signaled, and, 143.71 is pretty decent pullback support. We could actually perhaps test it today if we were to break, especially open below 148.07. I could see 143.71 possibly in reach, where we could place a daily low. We could bottom out at 143.71 also for more than a day. If you recall, it was a resistance level going back a couple of weeks ago, and when we rallied back up to it, it held highs for the better part of 2 weeks. So it is a level that you can buy into, 143.71, in anticipation of 155.87 over the next 1 to 2 weeks. And so let's talk downside. I don't expect this today, but if we did close below 143.71, that does pivot the market south into next week. This is your 3 to 5 day downside swing trade. Closing below 143.71, if you're long, 3 to 5 day swing trader, you should reverse and go short down to 134.37, where by later next week we could bottom out, possibly through the rest of November on a weekly basis anyway, and from here round back up into the upper 150s. So from 134.37, we could round up into the mid to upper 150s within 3 to 5 weeks or sooner of testing the 134.37 formation. Finally, closing below 134.37 over the next couple of weeks would indicate a good high, I actually think, through the rest of the year, because over the following 3 to 5 weeks, we unwind into what is now the mid 110s and climbing, where we could bottom out into January, I think that's all I'm going to say to the upside. Is there anything else to nuance? One last thing, as we approach 155.87, just note that on the weekly chart, it comes in at 158.97, and that really is a range of resistance. That is about 3 months from that August low in the making, 3 months plus, and it can contain buying through November into December. We can fall away. And FYI, by later December, it actually converges with the one-year channel top at 168.74. So as we move through time, as we push through November and into December, this will become characterized increasingly as a range of long-term resistance, able to contain buying through the first quarter of next year. And so if you are long, if you've been long, and we've had several reasons to get long over the last week or two. If you recall, we've had channel bottoms and speed lines in the low to mid 130s that we were, gosh, it seems like a long time ago, but it was just about 5 or 6 trading days ago that we were actually testing it. And then a few days later, we have the buy signal above 135.21, which shifted our focus up into the mid to 150s. But if you're long still for maybe you're long NVIDIA, you very well may be, I would ask you to respect this narrowing zone of long-term resistance between 158.97 and 168.74 that may contain buying pressures on a quarterly basis, which is a long time for a stock like this that's highly volatile and is prone to significant movement over the course of 2 or 3 months. Yes, if we close above 168.74 in the weeks ahead, that is a significant secondary long-term buy signal that should then play out through Q1, but we're not in a place right now to describe or show what that objective might be. Anyway, please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We put out 2 stock picks this week, as we do every week on Thursday. DocuSign. You might want to check that out. It's showing some real potential. That's the word I will use for upside continuation. We don't have an indication just yet. You can check that out, though, and all the conditions necessary at wickedstocks.com. Also, you'll see a 5-day free trial we offer, daily triple Q, daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock analysis, etc., etc. Check out wickedstocks.com and take advantage of that 5-day free trial. I will be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's NVIDIA report, and you have a great weekend.